I'm literally recording this video the day before it's supposed to go up. And I had all weekend to do this. Oh well, procrastination will do that to you. What's up, nerds? Drea here, back again with another monthly favorites obsessions, whatever I decide to call it this month. So I'm going to change things up a little bit from how I've done them in the past. I'm going to start with non-anime stuff first. That's it. That's all I'm changing. Let's go. So I think I've mentioned this before, but I spend a ton of time on Facebook Watch. Like every single day. No breaks. And I've discovered several very interesting shows that way. In fact, pretty much all of the non-anime shows I'm going to talk about today have been found on Facebook Watch, just from scrolling through my feed. Hashtag not sponsored. I have not joined the metaverse. Also, there is a little bit of an asterisk on one of them, but you'll see what I'm talking about in just a sec. Because we're talking about that one first. So, my parents really loved The Big Bang Theory. I had never really watched any of it until about 3 years ago when I was just randomly over at my parents' house and they turned on a couple episodes. To this date, I have never found a show that has not made me laugh a single time over several episodes. I consider Big Bang Theory, for me personally, because I know some of my friends do disagree, I consider Big Bang Theory to be one of the most unfunny shows I've ever watched in my entire life. And usually I would give it more than a couple episodes, but with that, it's usually things that at least made me laugh once. I did not laugh a single time. So no, I'm not going to go back and watch it. I don't have time for that. Not doing it. I have written the show off. I will never be watching it on purpose again. But then during that same watch of that show I don't like, my mom turned on an episode of Young Sheldon. Now this show, I actually think is really good. The writing is good, it's shot really well, the acting is phenomenal. The kid who's playing Young Sheldon, oh my gosh, he is so great. And it's also really funny, but also really heartfelt at times. And honestly, to this day, I still haven't watched more than a couple episodes, but I see clips of it all the time on Facebook Watch, and also I'm subscribed to TBS on YouTube, so I see clips of it there. Eventually, I'm going to go through the whole show after I finally finish 911. I've been stuck on that for a while. But I really like Young Sheldon so far. And I probably would have just forgotten about the show completely if it hadn't been for Facebook Watch. So, yeah, that's the connection there. But moving on to another show that I think I've talked about before, but I also found on Facebook Watch, I am obsessed still with Dance Moms. I am subscribed to the Dance Moms YouTube channel. They put out like hour-long compilations of videos like every week. And even though it's clips I've already seen 1,000 times, I'll still watch the entire compilation. I love Dance Moms. And it's not so much about like the Dance Moms part of it. I'm just obsessed with the dancing. I always wanted to be a dancer when I was little, but it wasn't in the cards for me. There's no big reason for it. It wasn't in the cards. And just seeing the dances, it's just so fun and so interesting to just see what the dancing world was like for kids. And, maybe one day I'll get married and have a child and they'll want to dance. I don't see either of those things happening, but, it could happen. But I really like Dance Moms. The funny thing about Dance Moms is that I do read through the comments on Facebook Watch, and I'll have all these people saying, oh, Abby's terrible. Yes, Abby is a terrible person. I think she's actually a pretty good teacher, to be honest. And most of the time I was agreeing with her with what she was doing. Yeah, she was petty. She was so petty. And I technically don't agree with the idea of punishing the kid for what the mom does. But most of the time I was still there agreeing with Abby rather than with the moms, except for Dr. Holly, because Dr. Holly has always been the best mom on the show. And I miss her in season 8. I'm finally on season 8. I'm finally finishing where they're at now. The show, I guess, is on hiatus. I guess it's going to come back eventually if the world calms down and we stop living through major historical events every week. But yeah, I'm really loving Dance Moms. And then the last show that I'm going to talk about is a show I probably would have been into earlier in life, because I feel like this is something my dad has watched, and I watched a lot of TV with my dad. Parking Wars. I was literally watching an episode of Parking Wars before I started to record today. I love Parking Wars. I don't drive, I don't have a car, and I'm obsessed. It's just such an interesting show. Like all the people on the show. One thing I really love to kind of explore, by the way, it's not a real wedding ring. I wear this to keep creepy guys away from me, and I forgot to take it off. I was at church. Anyway, I threw the ring over there. One of the interesting things about Parking Wars is that you get to see these real people in these service jobs where people are just being so rude to them. They're like saying, "You're picking on me." No, they're literally just people hired to do a job. You're the one who parked illegally. Why are you yelling? Like, I've seen maybe one situation where I was like, yeah, maybe they could have been a little bit more clear on that, or maybe the sign could have been pointing a different direction. But most of the time, like, no. I'm like, these people that are getting these tickets and getting their cars booted, they're getting them booted and ticketed and towed for a reason. And they shouldn't get mad at the people that are doing it because it's their fault. And also the people that are contracted to do it are literally just doing their job. And as someone who gets yelled at through the phone on a weekly basis, I sympathize. I could never do what they do, and I'm glad that they do what they do, because that means that when I take the bus, people aren't parked in the bus stop. So yeah, I love Parking Wars. I really wish they would make new episodes. I heard a rumor that they might be making new ones, because the ones I'm watching right now are from like 2008 to 2011. Like, people still have flip phones and there are Blockbusters. Like, that's how old these are. So I kind of hope they make more. My favorite people are Garfield and Sherry and Ponytail. Love Ponytail. Yeah, I love Parking Wars. I think all three of these shows are shows that my parents would probably watch. But we'll move on from that. And we'll talk about the anime that I'm watching. I am still watching Yashahime. It's still not great, and the parts that are good, I don't want to spoil in case somebody's going to watch them, because there are bits and pieces, they are very bits and pieces with 3 specific characters where the show is good. Like, I love the dynamics of these 3 characters, and I can't tell you who they are, but if you know, you know. Their dynamic is so good. It's so well written, and it's, oh gosh, I want to cry. I want to cry thinking about these characters. And then everything else is just some, I almost said something bad. The rest of it is just crap. It's bad. It's not a very good show. Mostly because I feel like it's not letting the Yashahime, the half-demon princesses, it's not letting them be their own characters, because a lot of this has to do with stuff that, like, Sesshomaru put out into the air, stuff that Inuyasha did, stuff that Sango and Miroku did, which Sango is being completely wasted. Like if they were going to bring back another character, I would want them to bring back Sango, because all she's doing right now is being a housewife. And I'm not about that. Sango was like my second favorite character, and I hate that. So yeah, don't do that. But everything else, it's just retreading what we've already seen, but also adding really dumb rules that don't make any sense. Like the reason why Inuyasha turns human at a new moon. Like, they added a reason for that. Like, his reason makes sense, but then they added a reason for the twins. I can't remember their names right now. I hate this show. They added a reason for the twins, and it doesn't really make sense within the context of the show that came before it, with the explanation of other half demons. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to keep watching it to see where it goes. I'm just hoping it gets less bad. I'm hoping and praying. Speaking of shows that are getting less bad, but I heard from manga readers that that's about to end. Attack on Titan, Season 4, Part 2. I haven't really liked it since the end of Season 3. I don't like the direction. I think it's just getting too political, too confusing, to the point where there are whole episodes where they have to explain what they did because they just pulled the old reverse Uno card and somebody else put another one down, and then we're going to put a skip down. It's like playing the most chaotic game of Uno. It's what I'm saying here. But I up until yesterday when a new episode came out, I was caught up, and the episodes that I was seeing were actually not bad. Within the context of what's going on. Like, I can't spoil anything. There's so much happening. But they were explaining it, and it was interesting. Like, you get to hear, like, this isn't really that big of a spoiler, but you get to hear the backstory of Ymir, like the founder of the Eldian people. Their backstory is so interesting. And there were just so many things that worked in the last few episodes. And then, like, I haven't watched the latest episodes, but according to manga readers, this is the last good episode for anime watchers. And I'm like, oh no, if that's the last good episode and I haven't really liked it that much, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna keep watching until the end because I'm now invested in this story, but oh no, I'm terrified. And do not put any spoilers in the comments. I will get really mad. Don't do it. So a brand new anime that I'm watching that everybody is obsessed with, well, everybody who's watching it is obsessed with, is My Dress Up Darling. And this is one that I really recommend if you're into the type of anime it is. So this is definitely fan servicey, but it's got a lot of heart. And now let me explain. Like, okay, I don't dislike fan service. I love fan service. All fan service, equal opportunity fan service. I love it. I've always loved fan service. But there are some anime that can use fan service while also, telling a good story. And that's what this is doing. So this is about a guy in high school. This is a high school set one, which I'm nice. I like high school set ones. I've been kind of into like more workplace comedies or romantic comedies and stuff like that. But this one is nice. So this high school one is nice so far. This guy is a Hina doll maker, and a Hina doll is kind of like an ornamental, very detailed doll in Japan. They're very beautiful. You should definitely look some up. I might put some up here. They're very beautiful dolls. I wish I had one. So he is training to be a Hina doll maker. That's what his family does. He lives with his grandfather after his parents have died, and he wants to be a Hina doll maker, but like people have made fun of him for doing that. They're like, oh, you're a boy, you shouldn't be doing that stuff, which is stupid. But that's what he grew up hearing. So he's kind of off to himself. He's learning his craft. He can make really great clothes for the Hina dolls, but he's not good with the faces so far, which I relate to. I can draw bodies fine, but I can't draw faces either. But proportions, man. So he just spends his days just going through school. He's not a terrible student, but he just sits in the back, just waiting to get out of school so he can go and practice making Hina dolls. But he does like notice this girl in his class, like she's beautiful and everything. She's a kogal, kind of. She's like a soft kogal. She has like the dyed hair. She has piercing. She has painted nails. She doesn't have a tan, which, I'm glad we're leaving that a little bit behind. I think one of her friends has a tan though. So she's just like one of the popular people, and he's like, oh man, I wish I could be like outgoing and fun like her, but I am who I am, so I'm just gonna do what I can. So one day his sewing machine breaks. This is all in the first episode, so whatever. It's not that big of a spoiler. It's just going to get you in the door. His sewing machine breaks, so he's like, I still want to do what I'm doing, so I'm going to go to the school, to the sewing club that doesn't have any members anymore, so all this equipment is just here. So I'm going to use their sewing machine to work on the Hina doll clothing. And so he goes in there one day after school, but the popular girl walks in and she's like, oh my gosh, you can sew. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll leave. And she's like, wait, no. And then she starts taking off her clothes. Wait, hold on. And yes, the shots do linger. It is that kind of show. I already said it's fan service, but he does turn around. He doesn't like just stare at her taking off her clothes. She tells him to turn back around and she's wearing a homemade, like handmade cosplay of her favorite character from a hentai game. But you know what, whatever, you be into what you're going to be into. It's not very well made. Quite frankly, it looks like something I would have made. It's clearly made by somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And she's like, I want to cosplay my favorite character. Can you help me? And at first he's like, nah. But then he sees just how absolutely in love with this character she is. She loves this character so much. She wants to cosplay, and that's why you cosplay. That's why you cosplay. You love the character. And he sees her passion, and it mirrors his passion for Hina dolls, and he says yes. And she bursts into tears. She's like, thank you so much. And that's what happens in the show. Like at least the first 4 or 5 episodes, because I'm behind because I haven't been watching that much anime. I've been mostly watching Parking Wars. But if you can handle the fan service, or if you can just squint past it, because it's in the second episode, she strips down a lot. There's no like straight up nudity, but there's a lot of jiggly bits. I hate that I just said that. I'm so sorry. But if you can get past the fan service, or you're just okay with fan service, I really recommend the show. It's really good. I like the direction it's going. I mean, clearly this is going to be a romantic comedy. They're going to fall in love, but I want to see how. I'm excited to see how. I don't know how the rest of it goes. Right now, I have a Mother's Basement video, like, in my watch later on YouTube that's talking about the show, and I can't watch it because I'm not caught up. I'm going to get caught up today. That's one of the things, and I can't watch it at work because, no, I can't watch that at work. Moving on to an anime I talked about in my last video, Tokyo 24th Ward. Now, I want to explain what it's about, but honestly, I'm not very good at it, so I do recommend you check out the first episode yourself, or check out Mother's Basement's, like, Wants to Watch for Winter 2022. I'll have that linked below. It's a very different type of anime that I've been watching. Basically, it's kind of like a sci-fi-ish seinen type of battle. Not really battle, but like, it's got a lot of strategy. It's a different type of show than I would have been watching. I like my pretty shoujo. I like my romantic comedies. I like my harem. I like my ecchi. This is not that. It's also not straight up shonen, which I'm not into right now. I still haven't gone back to Hiroaka because I'm just not into shonen right now. The only shonen type series I'm watching is Attack on Titan. And that's the only one I'm going to be watching for a while because I'm just not into it, unless one really jumps out to me. But this is just a different type of show, and I do recommend you watch it. I'm not good at explaining what it's about, but check it out. Give it a chance. Okay, so the next show we're talking about is the only one I'm not watching on Crunchyroll, so it's great to have to go to different apps all the time. But it's called Sasaki and Miyano. And it is boys love. Chow, chow, chow. I love some good, nice, wholesome boys love. I mean, I like the other stuff too. I mean, I love Dakaichi, and I shouldn't love Dakaichi. But it's very much like, it's closer to Given than it is to like Junjo Romantica. From where I am in the series, I'm not caught up right now. They haven't even kissed yet. I don't even think they're going out, but it's cute. It's just a cute little slice of life boys love series, and I really recommend it. It's one of the good ones. It's not one of the trashy ones. It's one of the sweet ones. It's one of the ones that's going to make you cry. So certain people maybe don't watch this one yet, but it's good. It's very good. So yeah, the last anime that I'll talk about is Princess Connect Redive 2. And I've only watched a few episodes of it so far because it actually makes me really sleepy, but not in like it's boring type of way. It's such a relaxing series that it makes me want to fall asleep at my desk. Like I can watch one episode and then I'm like, oh no, I need to take a nap because I'm so relaxed from this series that I need to sleep. Like it's such a leisurely anime, which I think I talked about it a little bit in my leisurely anime video from a few months ago, but there's just not a lot going on, and that's okay. Like, it's a series that you watch to relax. Like, they're just fighting monsters a little bit and eating food. There was an idol concert in one episode. That was nice. That was cute. And it's also just a very, very pretty anime. It's very nice to look at. They got the full budget on this one. Like, dang. But yeah, it's still very good. Like, I really enjoyed the first season, and this season is good too. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it. It's just relaxing and nice, and it's going to take me a while to get through, but that's the nature of leisure anime. So that's it for anime. The last thing I'll talk about is that, weirdly enough, and I know I'm late on this, like I'm real late, I'm years late, but I'm really into slime videos now. Specifically this person whose name I don't know how to pronounce her name because I've only seen it on Facebook Watch and YouTube. Like, I haven't heard her pronounce her name. So I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to butcher it because she seems like a very nice person, but I love her slime videos. Like, slime videos are so relaxing for me. Like, when I go to bed, it's like a toss-up of, am I going to watch American Dad, Family Guy, slime videos, or Jarvis? Still watching Jarvis Johnson, which, even though he hasn't posted on his main channel in a while, but he's posting on Jarvis Johnson Gold, so that's fine. But yeah, that's about it. Those are the things I've been obsessed with besides eating taquitos. I've eaten so many taquitos over the last 2 months because Walmart sells taquitos. They're 16 in a box and they're like $5, and I can't stop eating taquitos. I actually got food poisoning last week from some non-Walmart taquitos, and I won't be eating them again or eating anything from that place again for a while. But yeah, I want to eat taquitos right now, but I'm going to make myself eat something else. I'm going to make hamburgers. But yeah, that's all I've really been obsessed with. I haven't really been doing much besides, watching Parking Wars, Dance Moms, and playing Sims. I've been playing a lot of Sims 3. I'm back into modding. Well, I'm back into getting mods. I can't make mods because that's too many polygons. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to drop me a like, and you can drop me a dislike if you want, but nobody's gonna see it, so it doesn't matter. I just won't look at the number. Now, like this video if you liked it. I do want to get into making different types of videos, like I said in my last one, but I'm tired. I think I've stopped posting to Instagram. Like, you won't see a plug for my Instagram in this video because I'm not posting to Instagram right now. I'm taking a break. Please subscribe if you haven't already and ring the bell so you're notified when I figure out what I want to do with not only YouTube, but with my life. Because I don't know. Please have a great rest of your day, week, month, and year, and I'll catch you guys later. Kind of dampened this one from when I did it earlier. You overdosed on finger guns. Way to be. So it's technically warmer outside today, but it's still quite cold. But I turned off my heat, and I think I'm going to turn it back on because I am I started shivering. Like, I had to stop and catch myself because I was shivering. It's cold. I'm ready for spring.